guys a few seconds here. Alright. What a fucking day. Damn. Did you guys hear this? What a crazy day. Yep. Alright guys, we're gonna delve into this one. I'm so used to these. These are the ones I do know. I'm quite familiar with these. Damn, it's there, man. It's crazy. Holy shit. Yeah, give me a few seconds here. This is like, I don't know. It's quite, unfamiliar territory, you know? So, we'll see. This is like, I don't know. Quite unfamiliar territory, boys and girls. Love, come to me, come to me, come to me. You know what I think? We should put some candles on this one. I get some candles. Where is it? I already put them away. Oh man. Alright. Some crazy stuff, boys. Some crazy stuff out here. Yeah. Alright. What could have happened or what might have happened? I don't know. Well, we're gonna find out. Well, let's get to this. See what's going on. Let's see what's going on. So, I'll pop you guys out for a bit here. I like my chat popped out. There we go. Alright, well, who are we talking about? This young lady. What has just come out? Dang. Let's see if it's on here. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not, but let's find out. No, guess not. I'm ignoring all the other stuff. Oh shit. Virginia, Epstein accuser Virginia Giuffre dies by suicide. Her family, so. Is it possible? Oh. And I'm hearing stuff. Oh. Gotta put this on some board right now. Need I'm sure some people know that I'm watching this thing. This is crazy, man. This is nuts. It is nuts. It happens. It happens. It's happened. Put it on here. Oh. Alright, let's see here. Exactly happened? Who knows? This is how we're going to explore this thing. It's going to get a little bit crazy. Virginia was a fierce warrior in the fight of sexual abuse. That's right. Christine's death has ignited controversy with some religion. Oh. I'm hearing she had accidents. Oh shit. The hell? What is going on? Virginia was a fierce warrior. Virginia Giuffre, what Giuffre? Taking her own. 41-year-old died nearby Australia, where she had been residing several years. Just weeks after narrowly surviving a horrific car accident. A victim of sexual abuse and comes to her life that lifted so many survivors. It is with utterly broken hearts we passed away. She took her own life after being a lifelong victim of sexual. Virginia was a fierce warrior. She was the light of. In the end, the burden of abuse was so heavy that it became unbearable. Accused billionaire sex when she was. Claims that she was acquitted. Died in prison. Blah blah blah. Trafficking as well. She was core. Blah blah blah. I don't want to know about that. Virginia Giuffre shared a shocking photo. Given just days to live after her car crash. Someone made the mission. Now my question is, where was the car crash? Nobody mentioned this thing. What the hell? Car crash. Oh, that's the same thing. Location, friends. Locations. We don't need this now. What is this? Oh, I gotta hear this. Oh, thanks.
Disputed a claim made by Prince Andrew's accuser, Virginia Giuffre, that she was involved in a serious crash which has left her with just days to live.
Oh,
The
shit.
41-year-old, who previously alleged that the Duke of York had sexually assaulted her when she was a teenager, wrote on Instagram yesterday that her car had collided with a school bus. Well, Lady Pitt is here. There are some conflicting details in this, aren't there?
It is a bit confusing, Mary, because in her post online, Virginia Giuffre said that she's gone into kidney renal failure and is being transferred to a specialist urology hospital. And she's posted a photo where she appears to be in a hospital bed and has quite severe bruising to her face. She goes on to say that she has 4 days to live after a crash with the school bus near to her home in Perth in Australia. Now, Western Australia police explained they know of a minor crash between a school bus and a car that was reported by the bus driver the following day, but there were no reported injuries to them as a result of the crash. Here's what the officers have said.
I do know there was an accident on the 24th of March. It was a bus with another vehicle.
And was there any passengers on the bus at the time? Are you aware?
I'm not aware of passengers on the bus, but certainly the bus driver reported it as he was required to do and in the right time frames.
Huh.
And I'm advised it was about $2,000 damage to the vehicle. Not aware of any injuries.
Now, separately, a spokesperson for the East Metropolitan Health Service has told Australian media that Miss Giuffre is not at any of their facilities. Virginia Giuffre sued Prince Andrew with allegations of sexually assaulting her when she was 17 years old. She claimed to have been trafficked by convicted paedophile Jeffrey Epstein, who was a friend of the Duke of York. Now, Prince Andrew has always denied the allegations of sexual assault, and he did settle the case out of court, with the Prince paying Miss Giuffre an undisclosed sum.
OK, Ellie Pitt, thank you.
Whoa, that's crazy. I mean, like, what the heck is going on? What am I supposed to take out of this? That's weird. Huh. Let me think here. Location of bus. Giuffre slammed over sick lives by parents of kids. Bus under accused.
Parents of children who were on the bus that hit Virginia Giuffre's car and apparently left her in a life-threatening condition have spoken out for the first time to contest the story. Two mothers had a very different version of events, slamming Virginia's claims as sick and attacking her for spreading lies. Virginia, who was sex trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein and accused Prince Andrew of sexual assault, said on Monday she'd been given just 4 days to live after a bus smashed into her car at 68 miles an hour. The claims were accompanied by a picture of her looking bruised and grazed in a hospital bed. One mother said 3 of her children had been on the bus and told her the crash caused only slight damage to the rear brake light of Virginia's Toyota. She added that her kids weren't worried or traumatised at all. Another mum said she was disgusted by the claims Virginia had made. She said the whole story is sick and accused Virginia of lying, denying the injuries were sustained from the bus crash. The two mums are not the first to cast doubt on Virginia's story. Australian police revealed the collision was logged as a minor traffic incident and that no injuries were reported. Then, the driver of the bus spoke out, claiming there had been a bump, but that it's been blown out of proportion. A friend of Prince Andrew spoke out yesterday to say he was unsurprised that her alarmist post turned out to be fabrication. Virginia sued Prince Andrew in 2021, claiming she was sex trafficked.
Who was the bus driver? Do you want to go deeper? Oh man, do you want to go deeper? Bus driver. You guys want to go deeper? We can go deeper. Is that any good? Let's find out. Nah, not good enough. trying to figure out the bus driver. Name of the school bus. Let's see. Wait a minute. Don't be telling me that's the one. No. That's a minor accident? Really? Come on. That's a minor accident? That can't be it. That's not right. That can't be it. No. No, because it was a minor accident. Let's see here. Now, let's step back. Maybe she is lying. Maybe. I don't know. You know, I don't want to say anything. I don't know. School bus driver involved in mysterious. A school bus driver involved in a mysterious car crash that Giuffre claimed caused her. Crash in Western Australia on March 24th. She posted a photo claiming she had been hit by a bus going about. Gone into get. Hold on here. This can't be it, is it? Because that's not a minor accident. That's the accident. No, it can't be. That can't be. Like, no, it can't be. No, I think those are just events. Trying to figure it out here. Photos of driver charged after crashing into Fairfax school bus. Fairfax, Virginia. Driver. According to a tweet, apartment place around Tuesday area. No, that's not it. While holding phone, police did not identify the driver. No, that's not it. That can't be it. That's Virginia Fairfax. She's in Australia? Or is she in America? Wish I had more people watching so I could figure it out. Oh. Fairfax. That's not it. Okay, we don't have to see all that. Come on. We don't have to see that. Mr. Mullins, a school about 16 years who had around 29 horn, but couldn't avoid clipping the car and damaging a tail light. Bus driver Giuffre crash. Mr. Mullins. School driver, 16 years, okay. Maybe he has no connections. We're gonna go deeper. Definitely go deeper. Go deeper. Mr. Munn said he had begun when we were only for the crowd right in front of him. Mr. Munn's school. Ross Munn's. What's going on here? What's this about? Is this news? But some things don't add up. Time 52. Let's see if they have something going on here. Bring down the field where she's close to death. If that's her car, then that's not a small crash. A small bump is like minor. That looks like a lot of damage. Where here's the situation. Let's go into this situation. Watch. Here's the thing. What I saw on the video, I saw the
A friend of Prince Andrew's incident, no injuries.
You see this right here? Here's the situation. Go look. You see how there was other cars here? Wait a minute.
Doubt on Virginia's story. Australian police revealed the collision was logged as a minor traffic incident.
Minor traffic. That was not a minor crash.
And no injuries were reported. Then, the driver of the bus spoke out, claiming there had been a bump, but that it's been blown out of injuries were
Bump?
reported. The collision was logged as a minor traffic incident. Story. Australian police.
Okay, what is this down here? I'm gonna take a screenshot of that. To me, it looks like there was something going on here. Why would the bus do that? See how the bus was behind her, then made a right, and then she made a right. Could the car have been there before the bus and the bus just went fast? She couldn't. Now my question is, we're gonna get even deeper now, okay guys? We're going deep now. Much deeper than usual. from Middle English. Oh, Norse. Okay. Nothing going on there. Okay. I don't know how deep more we can go here. Loss one jaw. Wait, what? Crash in the railroad incident, which resulted in no reported injury in March. Had filed a police report the following day, but had nothing further to provide. Once described the event. What? Toyota Highlander for 3. Munz described the events leading up to the crash, explaining how he had followed a white Toyota Highlander for 3 when he found an opportunity to overtake. Yeah, that's the problem. He overtook it. He said that car was driven by an elderly woman who later said she was care. Never ever seen Giuffre in the car, although a police report later said a 41-year-old female was a passenger, according to the name. It's just all blown out of proportion, and I know I didn't even see her in the car once. Okay, so he said he had never seen Giuffre in the car, although a police report later said a 41-year-old female was a passenger. Okay, so here's the thing. If the bus driver is saying elderly woman, that's a bad judgment call. It means he has no good judgment. It could mean that, could he have been bought? I say keep an eye on that for some reason. With the details, but I think it's important to note that when a school bus driver comes at you driven 6 miles an hour as we were slowing for a turn, that no matter what your car is made of, it might as well be tin can. Oh shit. Yeah, okay, well see, that's the thing. If the bus driver was coming in so fast, right? See how he took her? Overtook her. Why would he be going 16 miles an hour? And you're gonna make a turn. She was gonna make a turn. Now here's the problem with this photo. We don't really know the distance between here, this turn, and this turn. We don't know the distance. Bus driver, this incident may have been here, which means it wouldn't have given her time. And it could be that she was going to make the turn, and as she was going to make the turn, he went on this line and hit her. Now the question is, who paid him to do that? If any reason like that. But I don't know. I asked if she lived here and said no. And she said, no, I'm in care. Told her she needs to put her indicators on when you have to turn. Months continued. That's all the conversation was, and she asked how the kids were, and I said fine. It wasn't a major crash. It just wasn't normal. We were driving. We swapped phone numbers, and I had a look around, and I asked if everything was okay, and the next morning she rang. I thought it was all very strange, and I told her I had already done a police report. That's all I have to say. And that's when she told me there was another person in the car who had a black eye. Giuffre's rep said Giuffre returned home after the bus crash, banged up and bruised. However, her conditions worsened to the hospital. Her family released a statement claiming Giuffre never meant to post her message. It's a mistake. Well, it could have been a mistake. No, it might not have been a mistake. Concerning her Instagram, she had posted on her private Facebook page. Yeah, that can happen. He couldn't believe his eyes when he saw Giuffre's. Just there's no way. In that car. I actually feel sorry for her. Wait a minute. What do you mean? You saw a picture of it. Yeah, you saw a picture of the car. What does he mean? You saw a picture of the car, I told him. What are you talking about? I don't know. Is that legit? Oh, there's no pictures of it. That's the problem. The source representatives. Let me get this one. Let's continue and see what's going on here. Green thumb blondie. Yes, we found pretty. Let me just put this out there. Where is the blood? She would be a priority in the ER, even if she was cleared up. Off her treatment. That. Very suspicious. She did. 110. Oh. I don't know. Something's off. I don't know. Could it all be fake? Maybe she didn't. Maybe she was just so in her head that she got into an accident. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Any more details? Share initial post private Facebook account. Well, I guess there's not much I can Sorry about that.
Australian police revealed the collision was logged as a minor traffic incident and that no injuries were reported. Then, the driver of the bus spoke out, claiming there had been a bump, but that it's been blown out of proportion. A friend of Prince Andrew spoke out yesterday to say he was unsurprised that her alarmist post turned out to be fabrication. Virginia sued Prince Andrew in 2021, claiming she was sex trafficked and forced to have sex with the Duke on 3 occasions when she was a teen. The royal has always denied the allegations, but settled out.
Was this the only accident she had? Or were there other accidents? Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. What happened here? This is Jeans something.
8 Sleep's brand new Podfall is truly incredible right out of the box. Installation is
500 body cam videos, more than 700 photos. The startling new police images show a house frozen in time, a messy, cluttered bathroom, a bathtub filled with boxes, and scattered medication.
You guys look at those bills to see if there's some sort of bad medication.
We also see the death investigation unfold in real time.
I just want to change out like a gas leak.
Deputies go room to room and discover the Oscar winner's body in the mud room of his Santa Fe home.
We see feet over here.
And this heartbreaking moment.
He's Barbie player.
The dog?
Yeah, he seems pretty friendly.
The couple's beloved German Shepherd watching over the partially mummified body of Hackman's wife Betsy in the bathroom where she was found.
There was no signs of forced entry. There's obviously no initial signs of trauma.
Santa Fe authorities also discovered love notes Jean wrote to Betsy scattered throughout. One thanking her for dinner, another calling her a lovely girl.
I really have a wonderful wife.
Jean died of severe heart disease, and his 2 daughters shared they hadn't seen or spoken to him in nearly a year and a half.
I've never seen anyone up here like their kids and grandkids.
And this is new. While Betsy died from hantavirus, a rare disease, died from hantavirus. It's new. While
Grandkids.
Never seen anyone up here like. Yeah, you know, people are busy. They don't
this is
go
new.
visit
While
people.
Betsy died from hantavirus, a rare disease caused by rodents on their estate, she feared she may have had COVID. This is surveillance footage of her wearing a mask at a Santa Fe grocery store. Authorities also
That
found
doesn't
this
really mean
COVID test
anything.
and an email canceling a massage appointment. The
Okay.
65-year-old also ordered oxygen canisters from Amazon for respiratory support.
It's crazy because Betsy's a lot younger than Jean, and like she's super healthy, man. Like she's a health freak.
We haven't had no contact with her for 2.5 weeks, and so I got concerned. I didn't see anything that would make her put something's going on. She's always nice, you know, it's just a normal person.
Yeah.
Virginia Giuffre,
I don't know
who
about the
accused Prince
BBC
Andrew
thing.
of sexual assault, has died. Her family say that she took her own life at her home in Australia. She was 41. Last month it was reported she'd been in a serious car crash. She claimed disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein and his friend Ghislaine Maxwell had trafficked her when she was 17. Prince Andrew denied all the accusations.
Giuffre claimed she was trafficked by him. An out-of-court settlement with her in 2019. She stood by the accusations.
He knows what happened. I know what happened. And there's only one of us telling the truth.
In a statement, Virginia Giuffre's family said she was a fierce warrior in the fight against sexual abuse and sex trafficking. She was the light that lifted so many survivors. In the end, the toll of her husband close to Perth. But recent reports suggest the couple had split after 22 years of marriage. Early this month, she posted on Instagram to say that she'd been seriously injured in a car accident, which her family later said she had not intended to make public. Local police later disputed the severity of the crash. Western Australia police say they are not treating her death as suspicious. Katie Watson, BBC News, Sydney.
Let's speak to our Sydney correspondent, Phil Mercer. Phil, what more have the family said?
We've had a pretty poignant statement from Virginia Giuffre's family saying that she was a heroic and courageous campaigner against sexual abuse, and that the stance that she took was a light that lifted. This is to the north of Perth, the state capital of Western Australia, on Friday evening, and the authorities say that Ms. Giuffre was found there unresponsive, and that family statement saying that she had died by suicide in the near Gabby area. This is to the north of Perth, the state capital of Western Australia. The ambulance authorities in Western Australia were called to a home in the near Gabby area. This is to the north of Perth, the state capital of Western Australia, on Friday evening, and the authorities say that Ms. Giuffre was found there unresponsive, and that family statement saying that she had died by suicide, and that the weight of the abuse that her family say that she has suffered became too heavy, and in the end Ms. Giuffre became unbearable.
But she very much became a figurehead, didn't she, for other survivors of abuse?
Yeah, she was a prominent, not only a prominent accuser of Jeffrey Epstein and his friends, the British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell, who's in prison for sex trafficking offences. She was also a prominent campaigner for the Me Too movement. She had alleged that Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell had trafficked her to Britain's prince. But in 2022, the prince did reach an out-of-court settlement with Ms. Giuffre. We don't know the specific thing under the weight according to life.
And tell us more about this car accident. She said that she'd been seriously injured.
This was a post on Instagram in the last month or so, and these are just suppositions, but perhaps when you look into the details of that post online, it may give an indication of the fragility of her state of mind. Virginia Giuffre had said that she'd been involved in a very serious car accident, to such a degree that she said online that she only had a few days to live. So there was enormous concern by the people close to her and other people about her physical and mental state. And what was interesting, that the police in Western Australia downplayed the severity of that accident, but of course her death will be investigated by the authorities in Western Australia. And once again, this is only supposition, but having an episode like that so public in the last few weeks ago does perhaps indicate the fragility of her mental state. And her family say that she fought this heroic fight against sexual abuse and took her life by suicide, and she was 41 years of age.
Phil, at the moment, thank you very much from Mercer.
He downplayed it, he said. Downplayed
When
it.
data comes at you fast, come up with answers even faster. Saspire.
Luigi Mangione, who is charged with murdering a healthcare insurance
so 12
company
hours
chief
ago.
executive in New York last year, has pleaded not guilty as he was arraigned in a federal court. Ahead of the hearing, US prosecutors filed a formal notice seeking the death penalty for the 26-year-old. They argue that Mangione killed Brian Thompson to amplify an ideological message and to spark resistance to the health insurance industry. Well, let's cross live now to New York and join our North America correspondent, Neda Tawfiq, who is following the case. Neda, just bring us up to date then with what's happened today.
Yeah, well, of course, today was all about Mangione being arraigned formally on those federal charges.
68
4 in
miles
total,
an
2
hour.
of stalking, 1 of murder, 1 of firearms offense. And wearing a tan prison jumpsuit, the judge had him stand and asked him how he pleaded. And Luigi Mangione said he pleaded not guilty. After that kind of formal arraignment in court, though, we got into other matters that the defense raised, and it became increasingly clear as dates were discussed about the exchange of different evidence and motions that this trial would not take place any earlier than 2026.
Okay, so just talk us through then what happens next.
Well, one of the big issues that came up was surrounding the death penalty, because remember, earlier this month, the Attorney General Pam Bondi put out the press release saying that she had directed prosecutors to seek the death penalty. Actually, the day before this court, he has made statements indelibly prejudiced his right till a little bit later in June allowed in this case. So on one end, the defense wants to prevent the death penalty, but on the other hand, they also argue today that they want the federal case to happen before the state case. That would be a reversal from what we understood would happen, and they simply said that because capital punishment is on the table now, they want this federal case to take precedent. So what we heard, Ben, was that this is all going to kind of play out over the next few months. Those arguments will be exchanged, the government will respond, but the next kind of court date on the books at the moment isn't until December, and that's when we might get a better look.
That is odd. So I don't know. That's as deep as I can go, guys. I don't know much of that else. Okay, well, that's it. That's all I got for you guys. I don't have anything else. I still think that something about this speed here.
Out on Virginia's story. Australian police revealed the
I mean, who is this Ross one? This Ross one trial. I don't have all those details. I can't. Australia. Ross ones. No, because that's the, I can't come up with anything else. Well, kids aren't reliable for information like this. Well, these kids can't tell how fast something was going. The kids brushed off the small crash. The smash, which she said left her fighting for a lot, happened. I would say it was minor, unlike, I don't know. Covered in bruises as she claimed the bus had struck the car. To live, however, the severity of the crash came into question in the days followed as from police, the bus driver, and even her own family. She thought of posting confusion and discovered sexually blah teen had been charged with breaching a family violence restraining order. Wait, what? Claimed to have been sexually abused by Andrew when she was a teenager. Had been charged. Now, parents of the children involved have upheld the driver's loss. Said the 3 children, aged 5. A lot of strange lies. I don't trust kids at all. I don't trust kids sometimes. You know what I want to look at now is this. Hold on. I'm going to look at something here. Or this might be it. Just doesn't show. I'm tired. Okay. I think that's it, guys. We'll see if there's any more news. The problem is, like, there might not be. It's hard to sometimes come up with these accidents. We'll see if there's any more news. The problem is, like, there might not. There's problems sometimes. So, what do we, oh yeah. What we want to see here is this.
Jeffrey Epstein of sexual abuse, has died by suicide at the age of 41. Her family described her as a brave voice for survivors, saying the emotional toll of her past became too heavy to bear. Giuffre, who said she was trafficked to Prince...
Yeah, okay. Oh. What's going on here?
The Duke of York is waiting for a New York judge to decide whether a sexual assault lawsuit filed against him by Virginia Giuffre will be allowed to proceed or get thrown out.
She, of course, claims that Jeffrey Epstein trafficked her to have sex with Prince Andrew when she was 17 years old. Allegations which he strongly denies. We're joined now by Virginia Giuffre's ex-boyfriend, Tony Figueroa. Now, Tony dated Virginia during the time that these alleged encounters took place, and he will tell us that she was scared and nervous to meet Prince Andrew. First, though, let's speak to ITV News royal editor Chris Shipp. Chris, yesterday we were talking about the fact that this was a key moment in...
I remember, I don't know how long she's been seeing that guy. They could have sent an informant as a guy to be her girlfriend. They'll go all these distances, you know, and this boyfriend might be an informant or a snitch or just been contracted by somebody.
The legal case against Prince Andrew. And yesterday, during the day, some absolutely remarkable details came out about the definitions which could dismiss this case against Prince Andrew, or which the judge might decide have got nothing to do with whether he should be sued or not.
Prior to working with Michael Keys, we never ever got responses.
Yes, I dialed into that court case from this side of the Atlantic yesterday. It was a virtual hearing in New York, and it would be fair to say, I'm no lawyer, but it would be fair to say that the judge didn't look or didn't seem to be too impressed with the arguments that were being put to him by Prince Andrew's lawyers. Not only on that document we discussed yesterday, this 2009 document, when the judge said, look, the only people really that can enforce that document are Epstein and Virginia Giuffre herself, and one of those, of course, is dead. And when the Prince's lawyer, Andrew Grappler, tried to put it to the judge that Virginia Giuffre hadn't been clear enough in her allegations against the Duke of York, the judge simply replied, that's not a dog that's going to hunt here. So, you don't have to be a lawyer to understand that the judge didn't seem too impressed. But, we now await his verdict.
It was,
we just don't know when that is.
Chris, I followed it yesterday. It's just absolutely fascinating. It's also the fact that the word royalty appears in there, and the judge says, well, this just could cover any member of any royal family anywhere in the world. It was, the Judge Kaplan was being clearly sceptical. And the other thing that we were talking about this a moment ago, which it's so baffling to get your head around, which is, on the one hand, Prince Andrew says, I never met her, I didn't know her, I was in Pizza Express in Woking, not Tramp nightclub sweating, and my hand was superimposed around her waist in that photo. And yet, for the case to succeed, he has to argue that he is a potential defendant. To be a potential defendant, he has to have some connection to her, right? Chris, is that correct?
Yeah, well, it all hinges on this thing of potential defendant and whether or not a third party has access to this document. Let's remind viewers that this document signed in 2009 between Virginia Giuffre and the paedophile Jeffrey Epstein basically meant that she couldn't pursue anyone else for any legal action. I just took it that the judge thought that document only applied really to those two parties, Jeffrey Epstein and Virginia Giuffre, and nobody else. We await his verdict, but the judge didn't seem to be too impressed at all, and even the Duke of York's...
Tony, you used to go out with Virginia Giuffre, and you were her boyfriend at precisely this time. What did you know about what was happening to her, and particularly about the connection she says that she had with Prince Andrew?
Well, she had told me before that she was going to go meet him with Jeffrey Epstein, and then when they were on their trip, she had called me and she was talking about, you know, she knew what they wanted him to do, or what they had wanted her to do, and that she was really nervous and scared because she didn't know, you know, how to react to it. And I had explained to her, you know, you're out of the country, there's nothing I can do to help you. You know, you need to do whatever you can do to feel safe, because obviously, you know, if there's anything that's going to happen, it's completely out of my hands, and, you know, I wanted her to be safe.
Oh.
Tony, when you say out of the country,
What
where
is
was it
this?
that she was meeting Prince Andrew, according to that account?
In London.
You say that you are still haunted by the photo of Prince Andrew with his arm around Virginia's waist. Can you just tell us a little bit more about your feeling towards that image?
Well, I mean, like I said, when I first saw it, I mean, it was really disturbing because of, obviously, she had, you know, when I had talked to her while she was over there, she wasn't in the best place. And when I had actually seen the picture, knowing what is going on, and him just smiling like everything was okay, it made me feel really, really uncomfortable knowing that nothing was probably going to happen.
You said you're very proud of what Virginia is doing. Tell us a bit more about that, Anthony.
Well, then I don't know the
I
whole
mean,
story.
I mean, it takes a lot of guts to do what she's doing. I mean, she's been through a lot her entire life, from before I knew her, while I was with her, to this day. And just to be able to keep fighting and doing what she's doing, I mean, that takes a lot of guts, and especially with who it involves, and to not be backing down and to actually be going through with it, it's, you know, it's very inspiring.
Tony, you visited the mansion in Florida Jeffrey Epstein had. What did you see there?
Mainly whenever I went in there, like, I mean, in terms of, like, girls, it was just always different random girls at the house.
Who is this guy?
There was definitely
I don't
pictures of
understand
nude
this.
girls, or basically naked, or all the way naked.
This is like a
all over
boyfriend
the
from
place.
when they were young?
Like I said, I just normally hung out in the kitchen, talked to Jeffrey for a little bit.
Why were you there, Anthony? Why did you go to the mansion?
When he was young or old?
Because she had introduced me to him, and then,
Oh.
in all honesty, until I knew what was going on, I assumed it was, you know, a legit masseuse job. You know, I had no inkling as to what was going on other than that, and the fact that they were inviting me to go with her over there just, you know, kind of just made me believe it. And
What was he like? What was Jeffrey Epstein like when you spoke to him?
I mean, when I met him, I mean, he was honestly, he was straight with me. Like, he was always just talking, he would always talk to me about how I was doing. Like, every time I was there, like, I'd never even seen anything to throw me any kind of suspicion as to anything that he was accused of. I mean, it was mainly just talking to just, like, a random guy that I knew that was just my friend, you know? I mean...
And did you meet
really out of the
Ghislaine there
ordinary.
as well?
Who is this guy?
Yeah, I met her there a couple times.
And what did you think of her?
I mean, in all honesty, I thought she was pretty snobby. I mean, when I talked to her, it was just really quick interactions, and then it was basically just turn around and didn't really have anything else to do with me. I mean, you kind of got that impression she was more...
She's French.
More stuck up than Jeffrey was by a long shot. Because, like I said, he would always talk to me like he was just a friend.
She's
whereas with
French.
her, it was just basically
French
hi,
people are
and
like that.
That was it.
Well,
And then,
they
Tony,
could
at
be
what
like
point did
that.
Virginia,
Not
who
all,
was your
but
girlfriend
some.
at the time, tell you about what was actually happening to her and at the mansion and elsewhere?
Well, I mean, about a year or so into our relationship, like, I kind of started questioning it, because obviously all my friends were like, oh yeah, you know, she's just a masseuse, you know, the guy's a billionaire, you really think that that's all that's going on? And I just started to question it, and then eventually she finally explained to me what was going on.
And what did you do at that point?
I mean, at that point, I mean, I was in love with her as it was. I mean, like, me and her, we were basically inseparable. And, I mean, at that point, like, it was already, I cared too much at the time, and it just didn't matter to me, you know, I just was trying to keep us together.
You must have wanted to protect her. And
honestly, what could I have done? I was 19 at the time. I mean, obviously they're billionaires, have way more power than I did, and I mean, I was basically powerless. You know, I really couldn't do anything.
So it wasn't just in your situation. It wasn't just sexual abuse that was happening. It was an abuse of power as well, which meant that you felt you were powerless to help her.
Of course.
Finally, when you hear, Anthony, when you hear Prince Andrew's lawyers arguing that this case shouldn't proceed, essentially because of a technicality about whether or not he was a potential defendant, how do you feel? What's your emotional reaction to what is happening right now?
I mean, my emotional reaction is like, I mean, until I see him actually getting it, you know, face the music about any of this, I mean, I honestly feel like, I mean, more than likely somebody's going to get away with it, you know? And I mean, he's royalty, so I mean, out of anybody, I would imagine he would probably be one of them to not have to deal with any of this. But then again, I mean, I don't know. I mean, as far as over there, like, I have no clue. But I hope he does end up having to face everything that he's accused of.
Tony, we appreciate your time.
Do you have kids? What's going on here?
Saving money feels right.
There's a lot I
Just
don't
like
know
when things are
about these
packed tight
stories.
and tight. Get auto insurance that fits your.
This is such a strange one. Virginia Giuffre, who of course accused Prince Andrew of sexual assault, has issued a statement overnight about the accident that she was involved with in her car. Well, our Russell Myers joins us now. I'm confused, and I think I'm not the only one. Can you just put all of this into context for us, Russell?
Yeah, well, good morning, Lorraine. Well, whatever way you look at it, it's a pretty sad situation. Virginia Giuffre, who is well known for being Prince Andrew's sex abuse accuser and a victim of the late financial paedophile Jeffrey Epstein, released a picture on Instagram on Sunday night. A very shocking picture, showed her in a hospital bed looking pretty battered and bruised in a pretty sorry state. And she claimed to have been involved in a horrific car accident. She said her car had been hit by a school bus travelling at more than 70 miles an hour. She said that she'd suffered kidney renal failure and that she only had 4 days to live. She appealed to see her children. We do know just recently she has been estranged from her children and estranged from her husband that she'd spent 22 years with. So she's got that going on in the background. Then her father put a message on that post saying, you know, we were thinking of you, all our hopes and prayers are with you at that time. And people started wondering what had happened. The police force in Western Australia then came out with a statement saying that they had, first of all, had no reports of an accident at the scene. Then they said that they had reports of a minor crash. There was no major injuries reported. Virginia Giuffre's family have released a statement saying that she meant to post that image and that message on her private Facebook account. She didn't realise that she was posting it publicly, but they did say that they were worried about her. And this comes against the backdrop of her being recently charged with breaching a family violence restraining order at Perth Magistrate.
What did you say?
Recently charged with breaching a family violence restraining order.
Family disorder. I don't know. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to send some images, some connections of mine. Trying to figure out where this bus thing is going.
at Perth Magistrates.
Okay, so hold on, guys. We're gonna go a little deep here.
With breaching of family violence.
Family violence violation, do you say? Family restraint. Family some.
Restraining order at breaching of family violence restraining.
Family violence restraining. Order. Okay, let's go to B, see what happens here. Prominent accuser. After claiming she didn't have long to live due to injuries sustained in it. She's due to face court just days after. What is that family thing? Breach of family violence restraining order for almost 2 months before she claimed she had days to live. The next day, they said Frey said incarcerated and she had gone into a kidney. Breaching a family violence restraining order and is due to face court just after claiming she. In an Instagram post, Giuffre is now. Not sure what kind of problems she has. Police were called but said that there was no one available to come to the scene. Wait, what? On March 24th, in rural Western, a school bus hit the car in which she was riding. The statement continued. The police were called but said that there was no one available to come to the scene. Anyone was injured and suggested that if they were, they should make their way to the hospital. Say that the bus driver had a bus full of distraught children and left the scene before later filing a police report. Virginia's condition worsened and she was admitted to the hospital. Family said concerning that she had posted. That's a bad series of events. Western Australia police people that a crash had been reported 12 miles north of Perth and involved in a bus and a car, police described it. So there were no reported injuries. They added. We do not confirm the name people involved in the incident. But they weren't even there. They weren't even there. They couldn't even come to the scene. Not really sure what. How does that? If they couldn't come to the scene, then how are they gonna know? Giuffre, who is originally from California, purchased a 1.9 million ocean reef with her husband, according to Robert Giuffre, in December. The pair shared 2 teenage sons and daughter, aged 14. She misses her children very much, in that they had been poisoned with lies. Who is her children's father? Okay, so I don't know. There's some crazy stuff going on. I don't know. Huh. She was ex-trafficked, but after following Giuffre was alleged that she was sexually assaulted by. I don't know. Well. Family violence. There's so much going on here, dude. I don't know what to believe.
Order at Perth Magistrates Court. She was up, supposed to be there 10 days before this crash happened. Her husband as well was up on similar allegations of failing to store firearms properly. So all of this comes in, in a pretty tricky time for Virginia Giuffre. She's had all the backdrop of the that huge case with Prince Andrew, and now obviously that huge case with Prince Andrew, and now obviously properly. So all of this comes in, in a pretty tricky time for Virginia.
Wait, what?
10 days before this crash happened. Her husband as well was up on similar allegations of failing to store firearms properly. So all of this comes in, on similar allegations of failing to store firearms properly. So all of this comes in, in a pretty tricky time for Virginia Giuffre. She's had all the backdrop of the that huge case with Prince Andrew, and now obviously seems to be in a pretty sorry state.
Yeah, this is very, very bizarre. I mean, the main thing is we hope that she's all right. She's clearly going through a very, very tough time. Of course, you can imagine online all the conspiracy theories started and all the carping started as well against her. And just hope she gets the help she needs from us. So it's a strange one, isn't it?
It is, really. I mean, this woman has been through an awful lot. We've seen her interviews talking about Jeffrey Epstein, how she was trafficked around the world for many, many years. She did reach a settlement, out-of-court settlement with Prince Andrew, and that sort of gave her sort of new lease of life, it seems. She got a really beautiful place in Perth with her husband. Unfortunately, that marriage seems to have broken down. So I'm sure her family and her supporters are wishing her to get better, whatever the situation is at this time.
No, exactly. In other royal news, sort of royal news, Meghan, the jam finally goes on sale today, and I know.
Yeah, no, I'm not into all that crap. Between her husband, I don't know. It was a mess. Let's see. As far as I can tell, it's a mess.
A vocal and visible accuser of Jeffrey Epstein and Prince Andrew posts a picture bruised in a hospital bed claiming she has just days to live. Soon after that, her family says that may not be entirely true. What we know about what happened to Virginia Roberts Giuffre, her condition, the alleged crash she says put her in the hospital, the legal fight that she's reportedly in, and what those close to Prince Andrew have to say about all this. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart.
I don't know. Well, we'll see what the news develops. Can't go on. Alright, so guys, thanks for joining. Press the like. And if I hear anything odd, I'll look into it more, but right now I just don't see anything like I need. So we have the bus driver. Okay, that's the question. And we have the ex-husband. He had guns and he had been charged that he didn't hide them or something. What's the name of her husband? Just had it just here a few minutes ago. Where was it?
Collision was logged as a minor traffic incident and that no injuries were reported. Then,
that's that's Ross Munns. I wonder if he's connected with anything. Or were there other cars around? Okay, well, sorry guys, I gotta go. Have a good one. Good night.